Run CPOD. Press enter to begin. Good evening and welcome to CPOD, the Curse of the Enthusiast podcast. I'm your host Dorian, and this week there's no Elliot. That's right, he's on his holidays, so we've got Ben back by popular demand. How are you, man?
Boo, it's me.
Yeah.
Not Elliot. Yeah, not bad, thank you. Are you?
I am fine. So, I've got, I've not told you this, a little interesting fact for you. Since the episode that you were on, I've got like my analytics here on my phone, and I believe that your episode might be potentially our most listened to. I know this much, that when we streamed your episode on March 10th, we got more plays that day than we have any other day in all of like our history on Spotify. It's not much of a history. Oh, it was March 9th, sorry. So we aired that episode on March 9th, and we got 33 plays on Spotify alone on that day, which doesn't sound a lot, but it's a lot for us. We were like, oh my god, we've had like 33 plays in one day. That's cool for us, because it's a bit of a milestone, as it were. Once we hit the thousands, we're like, puh, do you remember back when we started, when we used to have 33? But for us, that's really cool. But it is the episode that you started. So you've clearly done something. You've done something right on your episode. So thank you for that, man.
Nothing to do with me. We're all your input. You too.
Well, I can't help but wonder, did you like share that episode between like friends and co-workers and stuff? It was like, oh, you got to listen to this podcast because I'm on it.
I did a few, yeah. But like, I've done a podcast, and they were like, "What?" So like, yeah, it's so I sent them a few, but probably more 4 or 5 though, not crazy numbers.
That's fair.
I just sent it a few people, yeah.
It clearly got the word out, so we appreciate that. Ever since it's been me and Elliot, like views have dropped straight back down to, oh, you've had 10, you've had 4, you've had 6 on this day, etc. But yeah, you seem to be a very popular man, so thank you very much.
Oh my lord, don't know what to say.
So
no, it were really fun last time though. I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, we love having you on.
Time.
And Elliot just kept singing your praises as well. I knew that you and Elliot would get along somehow.
Yeah, it's weird because I've heard of you. Obviously, I heard pod before you even asked me to come on, and I was thinking, I think I'd probably get on with Elliot. Yeah, like just from podcasting, listening.
Yeah. I don't know anyone that's never got along with Elliot, because I've known him a long time and he's just friendly to everyone, even the people that he doesn't like, which makes you kind of paranoid. You go, oh, does he genuinely like me, or is he just trying to be polite?
Hides it well. Yeah.
But he does genuinely like that. Wasn't me trying to like psych you out.
Oh, god damn it, he hates me.
No, he loves you. We all love you, man. But we'll dive right into it. So,
thank you.
What have you been playing?
Boulders again. Baldur's Gate 3. Been jumping on a few nights a week on this playthrough 2. We've got to Act 3, which is the last act. So it's just number 1, 2, and 3, and then that's the finale. So we've done it with mods this time, because the first time we just did it as we should have, and this time we were like, right, we'll have some fun this time. So we've got like mods, but not crazy stuff, but like extra this and different outcomes and boss battles and stuff, and different hairstyles and colours and whatever, but there's some funny ones as well. So we've like steamed through it a bit more because we're a bit overpowered this time. So we're in Act 3 miles quicker than we were last time. So because we're a bit like Palpatine with his lightning, like with everyone. So that was just standard. Play that a few times a week. And a bit of Spider-Man 2, because it's come onto PlayStation catalog.
Yeah.
And I raved about Spider-Man 2018 and last time I were on, and I've never played the number 2 or Miles, and I realised it were on catalog. Get it downloaded, get it played, and it's good so far.
Excellent. I've not. I have played the first one, and I do have Miles Morales as well, and I did love Miles Morales. But I've not played the second Spider-Man because I've heard that it's good and it looks great, but apparently the story's not quite as good as the original. And it is the story that I did love in the original because it was really, really. And the same for Miles Morales. I thought the story on Miles Morales was great. Plus the opportunity to there was something about the 2018 Spider-Man that had a hint of like the 2000 PlayStation 1 Nintendo 64 Spider-Man where you could unlock various skins and
Yeah.
comic covers and new abilities, and the more you played it the more you unlocked. So like you could go around as the symbiote Spider-Man or Captain Universe or the Amazing Bagman, and I thought the fact that you could do that in 2018 Spider-Man was great because it was like, oh, I could play as Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, or I could play as again symbiote, well, not symbiote Spider-Man that time, but oh, that was it, Ben Riley. The Ben Riley suit was my favorite, like just that blue hoodie and then the big eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird one, the 2018 Spider-Man, because even though it's taken from everything we've already seen
Yeah,
before 100 times, Kingpin, Ben, Uncle Ben, Aunt May, and all that, and MJ and everything, it's all like everything you've seen before, but they did a good job in making it feel like it were new, like it were fresh. Uh, I don't know whether the Spider-Man actor or if it were. Yeah, they made a good job of taking something we've seen a million times before and making it feel fresh. Yeah.
I suppose that's the problem, especially with like any superhero game or film or something like that you can interact with. If someone wants to create like a new story, if it's Batman, if it's Iron Man, if it's Spider-Man, if it's Hulk, whoever, everyone goes, "Oh, great! So we're going to start this new story, and we're going to start from the very beginning." And everyone goes, "Oh, more dead parents! Can we not?" So I suppose it is very
Yeah.
difficult to like, how do we twist it in a way that, someone's going to read it and go, oh, that's cool, because everyone knows the origin stories by now. So how do you make it feel fresh? And yeah, you're absolutely right. It wasn't anything we've not seen before, but it did kind of coax you into playing it more and more because we've all seen Sinister Six. We all know what Doc Ock looks like. We all know what Peter Parker can do. So what do you do to make it different?
Mm.
So I never really thought about it that way. I suppose that's what made it a good game because despite the fact that we all know that, that old chorus, it did feel fresh and it did feel like a good game.
I think what you just mentioned something again. I think um, what made it feel like that is like the opening to the game is just you're an established Spider-Man.
Hmm.
You're off swinging through the city, gonna get to Kingpin. Well, I can't remember. Is it Kingpin at start number one now?
It
Yeah,
is,
it's
yeah.
that bank
Yeah.
job in it. Yeah, you're an established Spider-Man. Boom, you straight into action. There's no like getting bit by the spider, getting origin story and all that. You're just like, whoa, straight in. Like none of that. No dead parents. No spider biting. No
Yeah.
Uncle Ben and all that. And yeah, it's just like you just is. I think in the game is it something like he's been Spider-Man for 7 years, isn't it? They mention it, don't they?
Oh,
So you're just straight in.
yeah, you're right. I can't remember exactly what it was because it's been so long since I played it, but yeah, I think so. And it was like that with the Batman with Robert Pattinson. They said right, so he's been the Batman for 2 years, so we're going to go from there. And even with what do you call it, Batman v
Yeah,
Superman, you got a look at the older Batman because again, we all know the story, we all know what's happened. Just get us into the nitty gritty of it, and it does it really well. I'm hoping
yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping that that's not what they do for. Well, I'm hoping that that's what they do for Wolverine because we've all seen Wolverine, try and go through the shards that is his memory to figure out where he's come from and who he was before. We don't want any of that. We just want to go around slashing stuff. So I'm hoping that the Wolverine's going to be very much
Yeah,
like that. He knows who he is, but he's caught up in some kind of tangle that he's got to get himself out of, and there's high risks, high stakes, and everything else. I'm looking forward to the
yeah,
Wolverine. It should be good.
yeah. That just needs to open where he's sat in a bar, someone nudges him, and he turns around, and there's a massive fight, and you're into the game. Like no, yeah, no origins. Like I say, we've seen it all before. No origins, things like that. Just start with a bar fight or something. go from there. He's an established Wolverine sort of thing.
I cannot,
Yeah.
imagine that game beginning any other way. Please put money on that because I think
Well,
you've just set
clip
everyone's
this.
expectations.
Clip this. If that's how it starts, clip this, and I'll put lottery on because. But it'll be something like that. It'll be like no origin. It'll just be like a straight into like a Spider-Man. Well, it's the same studio, isn't it? It's
Yeah, is it
I
Insomniac?
can't remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's them. So it'll be similar to Spider-Man anyway. So
cool. So,
yeah, what you've been playing?
well, I've barely touched any of my PlayStations because as of last Saturday, Easter Saturday, I collected an OLED Switch from my best friend Elliot, and it's been great. We already had a couple of games from our Nintendo Switch Lite, so we've got, I think, Lego Jurassic World, The Witcher 3, there's a cozy bookshop game which is quite nice, and Mario Kart 8. And like for most of the week, we've been playing Mario Kart 8, and Nadia's been playing a cozy bookshop game. I've downloaded the free 7-day trial for Nintendo Online, and I've been going through some of the Game Boy games and the SNES games. I'm oddly addicted to the original Punch Out on the NES. I've got no idea why, but that game is really satisfying. And Tetris 99. I cannot put Tetris 99 down because as soon as I'm done with the match, I go, oh, go on, another one won't hurt. The next thing I know, 2 hours has gone by and I've gone, oh my God, I need to get to bed. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the Switch. So again, thank you very much, El. We're all really enjoying it. I've even been trying to eye up some games on eBay because everyone said like the games are expensive for the Switch. So if you're going to get them, either get them online on a sale or get them from somewhere like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. So I've been eyeing up Switch Sports, and I said to Nadia earlier today, it's like, oh babe, I found one on eBay for about 23 quid with a bit of delivery on top, but it's cheaper than the 32 quid that I found in CEX or on Switch Online. And Nadia said, oh, it was 20 quid on Vinted. And I went, what do you mean, what? Have you already ordered it? And she just walked out. So I'm like, you've already ordered it. But
Yeah, with Switch games, it's weird because like even in CEX and places like that, where you expect them to be a bit cheaper, they're just not even in there. You're better off with the Smiths and stuff for a brand new one. Because see, I've been in CEX. I've got an original Switch, and I've been in CEX before and had a goosey, and it's like that's 25 quid. It's like I'm sure that's in Smiths around same price,
yeah.
and they usually are. So
well, this is
but,
what Elliot was saying, that they are for some odd reason retaining their price really well. I think the last couple of times that I've seen Stardew Valley in there, 1 week it was 32 quid, and then the next time I saw one months later it was 40. So if anything, like the really popular games are just increasing in price, but then you've got your Zelda games like was it Breath of the Wild or something like that? If you go into CEX now and try and pick up a copy, it's still 45 quid, but the game's like 6 or 7 years old now, isn't it?
yeah, it's weird because everywhere there's nowhere really like there's not anywhere off the top of my head even that I'd say oh I'd go there for, like I said Vinted and things like that might be your best friend
Yeah.
or even like car boots and that weather's getting better like there's a lot of people just are having clear outs and they're like oh it's 2 or 3 quid a game and stuff like that. I've seen it on people posting videos when they do car boots and that and they're just going around in these gaming stalls and they're just like I don't know
They
2 or 3 quid
they annoy me
what
so
pound for
much
that?
because I don't know where these car boots are happening, and I keep thinking to myself, I need to get there and get these deals
Yeah.
before anyone else because I seem to be missing out on so much. But
Yeah, they seem to be catch him at car boots sometimes. Yeah, but like the same. I just don't know where they are.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. I must admit that in all of this Switch fantasy that's been going on in my house, I have reverted back to my comfort ground a little bit. So I thought to myself, there's been a lot of Nintendo this weekend. I feel like I need to go back to PlayStation just to kind of chill out a little bit. I do think that the PlayStation is my comfort zone and my go-to place if I want to sort of try and relax a little bit. The Switch is great for the family and great if I want to take out and about or if I've just got 10 minutes to sort of pick up and play. but I think there is still something about the PlayStation that I enjoy. So what I've been doing, like before I go to bed to pick up the Switch, is I've been trying to sit down in my office and play Tomb Raider 2 on the PS1 again, just because there's a great sense of familiarity to it, and it's been one on my list of things to complete this year as well. You know those things where people say it's great to try new stuff, but it's also good to go back to something familiar. And I think that's what I've been doing with the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, subject one we're about to get into. One of the games on mine, I religiously play at minimum once a year.
Mm.
Played it over years and years and years that way, but I'll same just for I know exactly what's happening. I know exactly where it's going, but it's that like familiarity. Yeah, like you know what's coming, but
Yeah.
it's still enjoyable.
Well, there was
Yeah,
a study recently that said that Friends is apparently really good for your mental health. And if you went into I say Friends, I mean Friends the series, not Friends as in having people around you and interacting. Friends, the American TV sitcom.
yeah,
It's really good for your mental health based on the fact that it's that old and everyone's very familiar with it now. That it's good for your mental health to have something that's what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable. Like there's no surprises. You can
yeah,
sit down, you can enjoy it. It's comfort. It's there. It's like you said. You know what's going to happen. So there's no sense of tension or oh come on, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no surprises basically. It's just
yeah,
you know what's going on.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just there in the background for you to listen to and sort of and sink into, and that's that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what I've been doing with the PlayStation a little bit, just going back into some sense of familiarity and going, okay, all right, we're here now. But you're 100% right. It does lead us into our first topic, and our first topic today is. So we had a topic from Elliot, and Elliot said to pick our top four, and that was that. And I was like, what? He doesn't know why he said four. He just went with four. So we rolled with it. But you gave us some ideas over Facebook, and we've kind of merged the two. So the idea behind this topic is we are stranded on a desert island. We've got one console and 4 games to play. Which console do we choose, and which games do we play on that console? So since this is your idea, and I haven't even picked my 4 yet. I've still got to think about it. So, if you were stranded on a desert island, what would your console be, and what would you be playing?
So console would be. I had a long think about this because I was like, PlayStation One and Two are all iconic, and this is powerful. And then Xbox 360 were great, but I'd be taking PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4
Ah,
was unreal, and it had so many exclusives. It was powerful. It never overheated, or rarely overheated, even though it sounded like a jet plane sometimes. It just, I think it's just one of the best modern consoles. It was just there were so many. I was an Xbox boy from 2000, early 2000s up until about 2016, 17 time, and then there were some games that started getting advertised for PS4, and I was like, oh, I, I have to play them. Like I can't not play them. They were like Uncharted
yeah,
4 and um, Yakuza and things like that. Yakuza 6 and stuff, and everything just looked so good. And there were so many exclusives that were coming to PlayStation, and I'm like, I've got to switch over to it.
mm,
And I just switched over from PS4, and it never looked back. It was so good. Like every exclusive, and it was just brilliant console. I think.
fair play. Like Uncharted 4 was probably one of the best games to come out for the PS4 as well, and it's probably the game that coaxed Nadia into playing more games with me, because I was like, oh, you might like this. And she went, no. I said, well, what about Uncharted? And she went, what's that? So I showed her a bit of Uncharted 4, and I think she completed it before I did. She got hooked. She got that into it at one point that for one Christmas, my Christmas gift to her was a personalized message from Nolan North from Cameo.
Oh,
And
that's class.
yeah, she was absolutely over the moon with it, and so was I, because like we both got little mentions, and he mentioned our newborn son Noah as well, and we were over the moon. He was great with it. So yeah, Uncharted 4, 100%. I can absolutely see why that would convert someone from Xbox to PS4. So yeah, that's good. So what games would you take
Yeah.
with you?
So my number one, and my number one of all time, which would definitely come with me, is Broken Sword. Um, Anyone who knows me well knows that that's like my top game of all time.
Mm,
It would maybe this might be a slight mismemory, but I'm sure that was the first game that I played on PlayStation as a demo chat from last time. One of the demos that I had at the time had Broken Sword on, and I'm sure it was like it was maybe the first game I ever played, and I was just enthralled by it.
right.
It's like for anyone who didn't know, it's obviously point and click. You're an American on holiday in Paris. There's a killer dressed in different costumes, who blows up the cafe that you sat outside, and then your character George decides he's now involved in this, and he has to go around Europe and round different parts of the world and solve this costume killer who's using different clowns and pixies and things, and he's dressing up as different. And it's just, I'm not doing it justice because it's just such a. But it's one of them games that again is like a comfort,
Hmm.
and that's the game that I'll play at least once a year. But it's everything about it. The comedy in it is first class. Like it's like a nice, soft Disney style art.
Hmm.
So it's like a softer type of comforting visual
Yeah.
as well. But it's clever. It's funny. And there's we're just waiting on number 6 to come out next year. I think they were looking at this year, but there's been no mention of it. So I'm guessing it's next year. But yeah, so there's 5 so far, and they're all apart from number 4. Number 4 is the ginger stepchild. But 1, 2, 3, and 5 are class. Like they're all brilliant, clever, funny, and voice acting is next level. And it's just from a studio in down Shambles at York, Revolution. Just a
Really?
small studio.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I really love like a
because
game
I've
studio
been,
that's got like humble beginnings as well. It's oh, it's a little place in Leeds, but then they blow up to be something huge. I really like that.
yeah, and the Cecil, the main guy of Revolution,
Hmm.
um, he told this funny story not long ago. There's a famous puzzle in one of the games where you're in Ireland and you sort of break it into this castle from you've got over a wall, come down, and there's a goat. And this sounds ridiculous, but and it is really, but there's a goat in a courtyard, and it's sort of guarding this ladder to climb down to get to the next
Yeah,
section.
I know this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and in the 90s, when 96, 97, when this game come out, there's just manuals. There's no like YouTube or like that, and they'd made this not really a puzzle. It was just like an annoyance. It was just it were every time you move near go, it just headbutts you and knocks you down. So you're like, what? So you try again, knocks you down, and he's like, oh, what's going on? So and this one part of the entire game, it just is just slightly different. You have to get knocked down and then quickly click over there, and then the goat gets tied up and you manage to get away. And it's famously like a really stressful puzzle, and everyone's like went out of their minds trying to get it right.
Yeah.
And Charles Cecil from Revolution said he were in New York, and because they're just a small developer in York and that, he's like he weren't expecting to be well known, and he got in a taxi, and taxi said, "Oh, what do you do then?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure you'll have heard of us, but we're a game developer from England, and we did a game called Broken Sword." And apparently, the taxi driver just slowly turned round to him and said, "So it's you who did that goat puzzle?" And he,
What are
and he
the
was like, "On the
chances?
other side of the world,
Yeah.
yeah, on the other side of the world, this guy, I stressed this guy out at night is with that goat puzzle." So well, there's more expletives to it, but it was you who did the goat puzzle.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, sorry." So, so yeah, sorry, broken sword.
Fair. No, absolutely.
That's my favourite game of all time.
Go for
Yeah.
it. And so I do remember that particular puzzle, but as you say, with it being in the 90s, it's one of the issues that I'm having with Tomb Raider 2 at the moment. Because there was no internet and there wasn't really a quick way to message your mates other than calling them, it was one of those that you had no option just to spend hours doing like trial by error. And that's what I was doing on Tomb Raider 2, like trying to figure out the Opera House yesterday. And I've still not completed the level. I'm going, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do with this key? There's a circuit board here. I don't know where that goes. So I've opened the door. It's not told me where this door is, so I've got to scour the entire level again to find it. But as you say, this is just one go. And I remember watching a documentary about it, and yet it had thousands upon thousands of people completely baffled about what to do next. It's not even like a whole thing to explore. It's just, how do you get past this goat? So yeah, 100% understand that.
Yeah. And I think it was sort of like in manuals and stuff. Then big chunky walkthroughs you could get back in the day as well. It was probably in them,
Yeah.
but it was like if you've got no money, if you've just got enough money as a kid for the game, you're not gonna be like, can I have this 10 quid manual as well? I don't have to do the goat puzzle, like, sort of thing. So
What's your number 2 pick?
number two is another game like Uncharted that fished me over to PlayStation. And it might not be like an obvious one, but Days Gone.
Okay.
Remember it's like open world classic apocalypse zombie survival, but you've got your motorbike which you have to keep topping it up. You have to keep it what's the word? Keep it
like
in
refueling
good
it and
condition.
maintaining it, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks really good. And another one of them where I was like, oh, I've got to play that game. Like, if that's not coming to Xbox, I've got to get a PS4. And I got it, and it were brilliant as well. And it were like, there's so many zombie games over time, and they've all slightly different, but the hordes in Days Gone are like horrifying. Like I've sat in my room before, played that, and gone, oh! Like out loud, audibly gone, oh god! Like when you get into enter a cave or top of a building or something, and there's just like 100 of them just turn around and look at you, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh no, 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 like a cartoon or something.
Excellent.
And you just
I did
escaping them
I
is
did try to play Days Gone. There was something that just didn't gel with me, and I think it was that I got a little bit fed up of A, zombie apocalypse games, B, open world games, and C, games that were trying to look a bit like Last of Us. Now, I'm not saying that Days Gone is a rip-off of Last of Us by any means. They are very much their own separate stories and separate games. But I think by the time that came out, that Days Gone had come out, I just had enough of that atmosphere and I just needed to play something else for a little bit. So I did try it for a while, but I put it down and never went back to it. And I think at some point I probably should, because I've heard people say nothing but good things about Days Gone. But it's one of those that I've tried it and it was great, but I've missed out on the rest, and it feels like I missed out on what was its peak, because it's an old game now. I think, was it nearly 10 years old?
yeah, I think 2018, something like that, around 2018 time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do remember the hordes being a very big thing
yeah,
as well, because I remember watching a demo at E3 and I was like, oh, it's another zombie game. And then literally thousands of zombies start pouring out and piling on top of each other. And I was like, oh, that's new. That's panic inducing. In fact, that's probably
yeah.
the real reason
I
why I've
think
never replayed it again, because I'm just too frightened to pick it up.
I think it's like you said. It came out at a time when open world and zombies were starting to fatigue,
Yeah.
but it came out at a wrong time because it's such a good game. And if it had come out like 5 years before, I think it'd have got a sequel and it'd have been more thought of. But I think it was like that open world and zombie fatigue around that time, and then that came out, and it was like it's an open world zombie game.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember when Ghost of Tsushima came out, and I thought to myself, here we go, another open world game, just what we all need. But the thing that coaxed me into playing it more was its story, because I remember very early on seeing some of the acting and the options to turn it black and white, like a and the Kira Kurosawa film. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, "Oh, this is going to be worth playing." And I don't own my own copy. I just borrowed it from one of Nadia's colleagues, a friend of ours. I think I completed it in about 2 weeks. I was just blown away by that game. So yeah, I suppose it depends on the context of the
Yeah.
game, like what you're playing it for. Are you playing it because it's an open world? Are you playing it for its story? As you say, open world was very oversaturated at that point, and I think that's what put me off that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably that more than anything. Yeah.
How about your number three?
Yeah. Number three is one that I'm 99.9% sure you and anyone else will be like, oh, no, I never heard of that, but it's called The Forest, right? And this sort of falls into, again, like survival, like a open world survival game, which on surface is like, oh right, yeah, there's 10,000 of them, but this came just before lockdown, 2019 time, 2018-19, and me and a couple of friends were looking for something else to get stuck into, and I'm bad for saying to people, "Oh, I found this game. Let's all buy it and we'll play it, and it's great." And then we play it for like a couple of times, and it's like, "Oh, no, I'm not really feeling it." So I'm bad for that, like being instigator. But
Okay.
I would have proudly said that I found this. So I were on, I was looking around indie section on PlayStation Store because I like to look on there sometimes because there's some gems on there.
Hmm.
And it said come up like the forest. It ran off of I think like down to 12 quid, and it from 20 odd or something. It started on PC. So I looked into it and it looks well. That looks all right. And I took the hit and bought it to test it out before I told anyone else to buy it. And honestly, after like a couple of hours, I was like, "You've got to buy this. You please, everyone, buy this and play it with me, please." It's just the story is you're in a plane crash that lands on an island. I'm pretty sure there's only two survivors, which is you and your little boy. Your little boy is dragged into the wilderness by these sort of cult cannibal type people.
Right.
There's a mix of like a cult that live on this island, and then turns out that they're sort of cannibals at the same time, and then there's also some sort of mutated people as well. So it's all a bit like, oh. Um, and the main goal of the game really is to start. You have to just get yourself together after playing Crash, get a little sort of get a bed, get your supplies ready and stuff, and then once you like settled, you venture out to find your son, and your son's obviously been captured and taken away. So and the lore of the game is mental.
Hmm.
It sounds like I'm just like, yeah, it's an open world, and you go out and you do this, and then it carries on for 10,000 hours. There's you sort of go out into around this island. There's different parts, and there's caves, and you go down the caves, and there's clues, and there's people who've like left, like you find weapons and stuff to and equipment to help you get around, and you can and blueprints, and it's so good. It's we spent half our lives on it, like especially around COVID as well, in lockdown and stuff, and
So
it's so addictive.
I've just had to Google it because I thought to myself, oh, I don't think I have heard of this, but I've just seen uh, a small screenshot of you building a base with traps all around it, and it's just like triggered a memory. And I thought to myself, I think I do remember seeing some gameplay of this, and it did look really good. But what does surprise me for a game that I've not heard much from since is the reviews on this. It's got a full 10 out of 10 on Steam, 4.5 out of 5 on PlayStation, and 8.4 out of 10 on IGN. And it
Yeah,
surprises me how
honestly.
that's slipped under my radar. That looks great.
So addictive
Hmm.
as well. Like it's a little bit jumpy as well because like there's times when it's good to play it. It's one of them games that's better multiplayer because you have to do a lot of like chopping down trees to get your equipment and stuff and get your camp ready. And sometimes it's night time and you've got your little torch and you're like chopping a tree and these cannibal type people who are on island, you just hear in distance in the dark like a and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Where are they?
Yeah.
So that you have to like someone to be a look at while you're like doing the work and that. And it's honestly like, you make a massive camp and you can get your fences and things and you can make, and then you sort of go out and there is a story to it. It's mainly like open world survival, but there is that like finding your son story that, yeah, it's so addictive and so fun. And I keep trying to get back on it with people because we had hours and hours and hours on it. It's one of them gems that you found in Intersection.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm going to have to take a look at some gameplay because I bet there's some really funny reactions to that as well. So we are pressing on for time.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
Number 4, yeah, I'll be a bit quicker with this one. Sorry, it's
That's all right.
This is cheating a little bit because I've chose the PS4 as my console, but this is an Xbox exclusive.
Oh,
Jet Set Radio Future.
oh wow. Okay.
It came with the original Xbox, like in 2003 or whatever it might have been, and it's not my on paper it's not my sort of game, but I couldn't get off it. It's just you're you're in a Japanese roller skate gang
Yeah.
tagging graffiti, and yeah, it's like on paper it's like well, don't know about that, but it's so addictive and soundtrack and everything's brilliant. It's
I
just such a fun, colourful game.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was one for the Xbox. I did play a version that was ported over to the PS Vita that I downloaded and played for a little bit, and that was a fair amount of fun. It is vibrant, it's catchy, it's a little bit like the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, where it's like you kind of by yourself in an environment and you go, okay, but the environment's fun. You can do lots of fun things. How do I get up there?
Yeah.
Try these tricks out. You can go fast, and there's a great sense of like animation and smoothness to get up there, the sense of speed. Once you get up there and you're tagging stuff, you get a sense of achievement. You're coming down and you're doing all these tricks and things. It's the fact that you can pull them off so well. That's where the lights in your brain kind of go bing, and you go, all right, this is how this works. This is fun. I like this. So, yeah, Jet Set Radio Future, I did not know existed, but that's another one I'm going to take a look at. I found it a little bit too difficult for my liking, but not to say that I didn't enjoy the bit that I played. So that's a fair shout.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one last very quick honourable mention.
Yes.
Needs no in-depth discussion really about it. Sims. Sims would be brilliant on a desert island, just to pass time until your rescue plane comes over. Just imagine time you could kill on Sims.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
How do I survive? I'll pretend I'm doing like everyday real life things in a civilization. That's fair.
I'll pretend I've got this house that I'm building.
It looks nothing like the one I've made of twigs. God damn it! That's fair. I can't remember the last time I played Sims, but I do remember enjoying it thoroughly. I remember enjoying Sims 3 more than any other version, but Nadia plays Sims 4 regularly on PC. It's the only game that sometimes I struggle to get her off, and she loves it. It's great. It's one of those ones where I'll probably spend a bit too much time on it if I'm not careful, because there's so much that you can do. I did remember playing a lot of Sims busting out on PS2 when I was in my early teens. That was a good amount of fun. But yeah, Sims is one of those where I would like to get back into it, but if I do, I will lose half my life, and I've got kids and the cats to feed, so probably not the best idea.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll try and reel through mine as quickly as I can, simply because, as I say, we're actually cracking on for time here when you're almost 40 minutes in already. So
Sorry, I've rambled so much.
No, don't worry about it. Absolutely not, you're fine. So
go for it.
I know that I'm struggling because I still don't know. I know what my console would be. I know that I'd take the PlayStation 3 with me because there's loads of great games that I'd be able to play on both the PS1 and the PS3, and both of them have got incredible games. But
oh yeah, you can play.
Yeah, I could play across two consoles.
Yeah.
I think that one of the first ones, and this surprises me, this answer, one of the first ones I would take with me would be... No. So, two of them. I know my first two. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just because I could play that over and over again. Oh, I think I'll do, I'll complete it the first time. Then I'll do unlimited ammunition. Then I'll do stealth mode. And then I'll try and find like all of the little Easter eggs and stuff like that, and try to get all of the interactions that you're not supposed to have with like Mei Ling when you annoy her too much or doing it in record time and whatnot. So there's loads of replayability there.
Yeah.
Game number 2 would be Resident Evil 2, because that way you can play 2 scenarios in 2 different ways. You could play Leon and then Claire, or Claire and then Leon. And again, it's that there's so much to unlock, because once you've done those, then you've got your survivor modes, and then you've got your tofu mode and your speed runs and all that stuff. So loads and loads of fun to be had with Resident Evil 2. Uncharted 2, just because that game has no bad parts in it whatsoever, apart from the boss fight. The boss fight was a little bit lame, but Uncharted 2 was a really, really cool game. Especially that opening. The opening was fantastic. And then for number 3, actually, my number 3 is a PS1 game as well, which is Silent Hill 1.
Yeah, the OG.
Yeah, because
the OG Foggy.
There was something. Silent Hill 2 and 3 were great. Silent Hill 2, of course, is the apex for all survival horror, as far as many fans are concerned. But there's something about Silent Hill 1 that I prefer, because while the story in Silent Hill 2 is that the town is James's own hell, Silent Hill 1's a little bit scarier in that you're a completely innocent party planted into someone else's hell. So you don't know what to expect. These representations make no sense to that individual character. They're someone's, they're just not yours. So, yeah, I've got a soft spot for the first one over the second. And if one was to get remade, I would pick 1 to be the next one to get remade. So, yeah, those are my choices.
It's classic and iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's the one that started it all. Absolutely. So we'll move swiftly into our second topic before we wrap things up here, which was video games that have made us cry. Now, some people might not cry too much at video games. I will openly admit that I've cried to a few, just because I'm a big softie. So, yeah, have you had any video games at any point in the past that have made you weep a little bit? Just a little bit?
There's one. It's one game and one time and one moment that's ever got me.
Interesting.
And it's not that I've not been close sometimes, because sometimes the story is really so good that it just sucks you in and it gets you emotional. But the one that got me was the ending of spoilers for Red Dead Redemption 2. The ending of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Fair play.
When you have had 100 hours with this horse.
Oh,
and you've gone for everything, and you've named him Harry Trotter or something like that. You've given him a pun. You've bonded with him. You've done everything with him. You've gone through all these wars with him, and he gets downed right at the last fight. And Arthur drops to his knees, and he comforts him, and he just says, "Thank you." And I was like, "Whoa, no, I'm gone. And it was quite late at night as well, and I was like, no, that's done, mate. And just them 2 words just comforts him, and he says, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that sucks.
So that's mine.
I've not played Red Dead Redemption 2. I've not played any of the Red Dead games, to be quite honest. But there was a similar moment
Sorry,
in.
Spoiled it for you.
Yes, God damn it. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's I did have a similar moment in Ghost of Tsushima where you're about 3/4 of the way through the game and you're going up towards the very last section of the island and you're being chased with arrows, and I think one of them hits your horse, and you name your horse at the beginning of the game. I called mine Kage, which I think means shadow. And yeah, your horse gets an arrow through the neck, and you find a replacement one. But that bit where your horse dies, I was just like, well, I guess I'm not riding him anymore. I did feel a little bit emotional, not to the point where I got brought to tears, but I can 100% see why, because Red Dead 2 seems like a game that you would spend so many more hours on. And of course, the more hours you spend, the more memories you have with this horse until all of a sudden it's killed at the very last moment. That must have been gutting.
Yeah, you're doing like 80 to 100 hours or something daft like that, depending on if you've done all side bits and everything else, and it's been through everything with you, and then I can't remember what actually did it. I think it might be just a gunshot. And he's like, oh no, 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 no. And then there's like horse reviver's not going to work on it, and
Mm.
no.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the worst bit
it
as
was
well.
half a
If
thing.
you've heard the gunshot and you know in the back of your head what's happened, but you don't want that
Yeah,
realization to hit you.
yeah, like surely not. No, not Harry Trotter, please. I like how you've got like a like, really deep, meaningful name for yours as well on Ghost of Streamer, and I'm
You
just like,
call
yeah,
yours
man, I'm
Harry
called Harry
Trotter.
Trotter.
that's
Yeah,
that's brilliant. But I know that's a reference to Harry Potter, but in my head, because it's Trotter, I've got an image of him with a flat cap and a cigar and like a gold chain around him.
yeah.
Well,
This time next year,
yeah, yeah,
we're
exactly.
millionaires.
So it's, I think mine. I've got two examples that I've got to give today. The first one is Death Stranding 2. And I had to Google this because there were many people that had not that complaint, but just wanted to see if anyone else was as adversely affected. Spoilers for the beginning of Death Stranding 2. But you spend the first couple of missions with your daughter, Lou, carrying her around, and then you leave her with one of the characters to babysit in your enclosure while you're out doing a mission. But unfortunately, your base gets attacked. And as you run to go and take out the enemy and investigate what's gone on, you find out that your daughter's died. And that bit was heart wrenching enough. But then what it did is it showed you clips of the attack, and the character Fragile tries to jump herself and Lou away onto a beach. But when she does, she looks over at Lou, and it's just a baby's body just slump on the ground. And of course, me being a relatively new father, that just hit me in the gut. And I went, oh God, I was not expecting to see a dead baby at the very beginning of this game. And it
Right
absolutely,
at the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah,
it tore me apart. And Nadia was sat next to me at the time, just holding my hand as, honest to God, I just bawled my eyes out, thinking to myself, why am I still playing this? And it had a reason to do it, because the idea of playing Death Stranding 2 is to go through with it anyway. So you've kind of got to carry that grief with you in the same way that Sam does, and that's what connects the player to the characters in the game. The fact that you keep on going no matter what to try and get past your grief and come out on the other side on top of it, as it were. So
yeah.
I get why Kojima did that to me, the sod, but that was a heart wrenching moment. The other one was probably the end of Stray, the indie game where you play as a cat.
Oh, I've not played it, but I've recently seen because I was watching one of them like top 10 most emotional gaming moments on YouTube,
Mm,
and and saw that, and I'm like, oh my God, that had no right to be that emotional
yeah,
for a game about a cat. Like,
it really is.
yeah,
It really is,
so
because it's a similar thing to was it Harry Trotter? Yeah, in that you've
yeah,
you've you've had this companion with you for all of the game, and then something happens, and the cat has this recognition that he's lost someone, so he just curls up next to him. And oh my God, I would like to think that if I just suddenly slumped, and anything happened to me, my cat would just come and weep for me and lay next to me. But instead, I know full well that my cat
yeah.
would do what he always does and just sit on my back and start cleaning himself. So
When we're getting fed, come on,
that's right. I'm hungry. Come on, feed me. Oh, you're not getting up. Well, I'll get someone else
where's
to
the
do it.
tuna at?
Yeah. So that's those are my two examples. It's probably Death Stranding 2 and Stray are probably the games that have made me cry the most.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
always
understandable. You've got your little lad and your cat, and it's the little child and a cat that's got you. So
yeah.
it's understandable. I don't have a horse, but in real life, but
But still, you had a horse.
But it was still sad.
Exactly. You've still developed that emotional connection, whether it be something digital or physical. It's there. You had memories with that horse, man. Rest in peace, Barry. Barry Trotter. Was it Barry Trotter or Harry Trotter?
Harry.
I forgot his
R.I.P.
name.
my boy.
Never mind. We are going to wrap things up there, folks, because we are 50 minutes in. That was a lot of fun, and I feel very cathartic. I feel like I've lifted something off my chest today. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Whew.
No problem. Thank you for having me on again.
You are very welcome, sir. Do you have anything that you would like to hear us talk about in our next episode?
I think I already sent you this yesterday. I had the Desert Island Discs idea.
Yes.
Which then more from Elliot's idea. I think a Room 101 would be quite fun. Like what you put into Room 101 about gaming or.
That's really interesting. That's not something we've done yet, because we always try to big up gaming, but we've not talked about some of the worst things that we've played. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it might be a bit negative.
Well, some games are.
Dead horse chat.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's next episode then, we will do our Room 101. What would we get rid of in gaming? But yeah, thank you very much for joining us again, Ben. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, mate.
No problem. Thank you again.
And thank you all for listening. Remember that we are available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you all in the next episode next week. Ta-da for now.
Bye.